Hi everyone. For this week's assignment, I decided to look into Chapter 11, so teaching and learning with technology for second and foreign language. And they share several tools that teachers can use to help students learn English or a different language. For example, they have virtual field trips. They also had writing support, reading support, but the one that I looked into was support for practice and language sub skills. And the reason why I chose this chapter is because I am a Spanish teacher and I like using tools that help my students continue practicing speaking, writing, listening to Spanish, and something that they can use outside of school. So, most of the tools that were shared in the textbook are available on websites, applications. Students can use their cell phones, tablets, computers. And most of these activities focus on speaking, writing, reading, and listening skills. And they are interactive. They also become personalized. And lastly, they give immediate feedback. And the reason why I enjoy using immediate feedback is because if I am working with a student, either on groups or one-on-one, I know that the students that are using the applications that I assign them, they're still receiving feedback from those applications. And so the first one is Duolingo. This is actually what I use in my classroom. And the reason why I enjoy using Duolingo is because they're able to learn or review vocabulary words, they're able to practice writing and speaking, and also listening. And so this is the student's view of Duolingo. And you can see that on this one, I have Korean instead of Spanish. And the reason why I do different languages is to see if it will be challenging for my students. And I did a few activities with this one, and I noticed that it was a bit challenging. And so I think my students would enjoy that. And for Duolingo, students are able to track their progress. So it gives them how they're doing throughout the week. They're also able to compete within the classroom, and so they're able to get ranked. And I know that my students enjoy that, competing with each other. And lastly, it does give them feedback of how they're doing. From the teacher's view, this is how I assign assignments for them. What I like is that most of the assignments do align with the curriculum. And so you can see the introductions, common phrases, travel, and these are actually the vocabularies that I also use in my lessons. So everything, it's more of practice, but with this one, it just goes a bit more further of them practicing speaking, writing, and then listening. So we're able to look into that, and it also gives you a report where you're able to see students' progress individually. The next app that I learned, and this is what I learned from chapter 11, is Busuu. And this is probably something that we'll be using next school year. This focus on comprehensive vocabulary activities, interactive tests, and what I loved about this was the feedback from native speakers. And so for this one, I think I did a lesson of Japanese. And so this is the students' view. Students are able to go through their lessons, and teachers are also able to assign a lesson based on the curriculum that they are teaching. And this is what I liked about Busuu is the feedback. Students are able to record or write their answers, and a native speaker can actually give them feedback. And so this is what I loved about Busuu. Um, you can listen to it, and then they give you feedback. So my students will be able to get feedback from a native speaker. Both of these applications are free for educators, and that's something that I think it's good to know. The advantages of these is that they are learning in a playful and challenging way. The reward system motivates students to continue learning, and they can use these applications on the go, so they can use their cell phones, tablets, or computers. And lastly, it teaches them by context instead of memorizing. And I think that's what I enjoyed a bit more about Busuu is that it goes by context and it gives you explications. And with Busuu, it also explains more of the culture. Um, so yes, this is why I looked into chapter 11. Thank you.